Juicy. Buy a juice from me now.
A cool bag juice sounds just about right, but do you have a permit? Whether you're selling juice on the corner, baking gizadas at home, or running a full-service restaurant, there's one thing every food operator in Jamaica must have: a food handler's permit. Issued under the Public Health Food Handling Regulations, this permit is mandatory for anyone involved in preparing, serving, transporting, or handling food across the island. And here's why.
It means that you would be in conformance with the Public Health Food Handling Regulations. And so it is important that persons make their application so that they can get the requisite training in an effort to ensure that the foods that are offered to the public are safe, wholesome, and free from any form of contamination.
So, how do you apply for a food handler's permit? It's easier than you might think.
It is quite simple. It's a simple process. You would need to complete the prescribed application form. You would also be required to submit 2 passport-size photographs. In addition, you are expected to pay the requisite application fee, which is $500. You will be given an appointment date and time to visit one of our venues for the training session, to be interviewed, and to sit a test.
For applicants in the Southeast Regional Health Authority parishes, a TRN may also be needed for tracking your application.
The persons who apply for food handlers permits would normally be screened. A series of questions would be asked for the health interview, and this is to ascertain the health status of the applicants, because anyone who acquires a food handler's permit would be deemed to be fit and proper to handle food, prepare food, serve food for human consumption. And as such, these persons have to meet the requirements on the medical interview. Once you are successful in completing the process, then you'll be able to get your food handler's permit. On average, it would normally take 6 weeks or thereabout from application to acquiring the food handler's permit. In some cases, particularly in the other parishes outside of Southeast, it would take a much shorter period of time. However, it can take longer whenever we have challenges, but we try our endeavor best to ensure that employers who need to know that their employees have completed the process successfully are provided with a letter which is temporary.
My food handler's permit does help me, because when I do events like these, or even when I go to like Hope Gardens, first thing first, the public health inspector come around, "Hey chef, you have your food handlers?" I say, "Yes man, here it is," and I pops it out just like this and show them my food handlers is up to date, legit, and ready to go.
The inspectors are required to monitor food handling establishments at least twice yearly. We would normally certify the businesses, and once the businesses are certified, then we would do an additional assessment or inspection to ensure that they are operating in accordance with the public health food handling regulations. But you have to bear in mind too that resources are limited, and as such, we have to do risk ranking where we focus and monitor more frequently high risk operations, medium risk operations. For low risk operations, they are not neglected, they are also monitored, but certainly not as frequently as we would monitor high risk and medium risk operations.
High-risk establishments are those directly involved in serving, preparing, or handling potentially hazardous foods such as milk, eggs, cheese, fish, and various meats like chicken, beef, pork, and goat. Low-risk establishments, on the other hand, are those that sell prepackaged or sealed items such as peanuts, bottled water, and confectionaries.
If it is that persons would have committed violations, we would seriously have to consider the nature of the violation and the type of violations committed and whether or not the person has been rehabilitated. And as such, each case, each situation would have to be dealt with on its own merit.
So, how to get the application form to become certified?
The application form is online. It may be downloaded from SARA's website, Southeast Regional Health Authority's website. It may also be downloaded from the website of the Ministry of Health and Wellness and completed. However, applicants would still need to visit the local health department in order to apply, because you'll be given an appointment date and an appointment time, and you're expected to return on that day and at the required time to be interviewed.
Having a food handler's permit isn't just about compliance. It builds trust with your customers and ensures you're ready for any health inspection that might come your way. Don't take chances. Get certified, stay compliant, and help keep Jamaica's food safe.